What a piece of junk!
This is the Shattered Order Podcast.
Go switch off!
If you're looking for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, information, and theory crafting, you've found the podcast you're looking for. With your hosts, GoodNightPunk and WinKILLERinc.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 139th episode of the Shattered Order Podcast. I'm your host, GoodNightPunk, and with me as always is my good friend,
Indeed.
Wink. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Well,
Oh,
you know.
man. I am ready to talk some SWGOH. There's a lot to talk about this week. Actually, not really, but we have some really good topics to talk about, and this is going to be a fantastic episode. What is going on, GMP?
Not a whole ton. Just enjoying my week in the warmth. I think the high this week was 85. Been sitting around the 70s all week, so this is the perfect time to be in Arizona right now. I'm loving it.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, we actually had some nice weather today. Past couple of days have been great. I wore shorts outside today. It was amazing. The beginning of the week started with a high of 20, and then now it's like 65. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I could take that. I saw some Nate Ball from our guild posting pictures of it snowing today. So I'm like,
Ooh.
Not interested. So
Yeah, I'll pass on the snowy stuff. But I'll tell you what, I mean, the stuff's been coming down like crazy as far as subscribers and stuff. We hit over 1,300 on YouTube, which is very exciting. Thank you guys for subscribing on the YouTube channel. And
yes,
if you
appreciate
don't already, make sure you share and get all your friends and guildmates to go subscribe as well. And also, we've been waiting on this mark for a while because building a community it's different than just doing a podcast. And we've kind of built a community, and we have all these people that enjoy chatting. We finally reached 1,000 people on our Discord channel.
Yeah, so thank you for everybody.
Heck yeah. Very
Thank you to everyone that
exciting
joined the
stuff.
Discord. Something I wanted to add to that is that there is not a cap at 1,000 on Discord. So if you still haven't joined, discord.me/shatteredorder. Let's start working our way towards 1,500. So we'll just keep putting people in there. Keep packing people into the auditorium, as I like to say right now.
Wait, when did we start? I think we started doing this podcast in June of 2016, if I recall correctly. Here's what I would like to see by June of 2019.
Ooh.
I want to see us hit 2,000 subs on YouTube. I definitely think that's doable. And I want to see us at 1,200 on Discord.
I like it. I think that's very doable.
Possible?
Totally.
All right, let's do it, people. All right. On to other things. I'm wearing a hoodie because it's kind of cold in the house, but I'll tell you what. I totally forgot something. Thank you for the little highlight on the show notes.
This is a very important thing.
It's so good. All right, so we had an idea of if you can't hear that, that is actual paper that I have here for the podcast this week. And as a celebration for our sub numbers on the Discord and the YouTubes, specifically Discord, because we've been aiming for that for a while, we came up with SO Bingo, and this is some good stuff, right? GoodNightPunk. I mean,
this is gonna be fun. And if you already had yours printed off, you might have already gotten some squares signed off already. So for those of you that haven't got one yet, I'm going to drop the link to our bingo cards in the Twitch chat so that everyone can go and grab it and get ready, because basically what it is you can print it off and you can sign it off yourself whenever you see one of these things happen, or if you use a computer or a phone, all you gotta do is click on it and it'll put an X over the ones you've done. So if you are on a computer or your phone and playing bingo, if you get a bingo, send me or Wink a Discord DM with the screenshot. If you're doing it on paper, take a picture of it and send that picture in the DM. But the first person to get a bingo, a legit bingo, will be the winner of tonight's Blue Microphones prize. So if you get a bingo, you win big. So there's a lot of stuff on there that's going on. So if you go to that link that's in the Discord, or it's in the live chat right now, you can bring up your bingo card on your phone and play along. You can bring it up on a computer, or if you want to run off and print it real quick, whatever you want to do. But in order to win, you must submit your screenshots. Everything has time stamps on it in DMs, so we'll know who had the first one sent in, if it's legit.
Yep.
So we'll let you know when we get one that's a winner. But as we go along in the show, make sure you're playing along. There's some fun stuff on here. There's some freebies like GoodNightPunk vapes. There's also one for Wink yawning. So
we'll get there.
That'll probably happen at some point. But
more than likely. Yeah. So very exciting stuff. On to what I was going to say before I forgot about SO Bingo is, man, I'm going to have this really sexy shirt, and I'm not going to be able to wear this hoodie coming up here pretty soon. If you haven't already gone to bonfire.com/doyouevenmodbro and got your Do You Even Mod Bro shirt, you need to do that, because it's going to be awesome. Bonfire shirts are unbelievably comfortable, and
I agree, man. Those things are super comfortable.
I might order 2.
I just need to put more shirts out so I can keep buying Bonfire shirts. Those things are awesome.
Exactly. No kidding, for sure.
Like a Jerry and Bleedo one. Okay.
Like Jerry. Whatever happened. Well, we'll get there. So what did you do this week? There was something you did that was super awesome in, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but in celebration of your furry bear's golden god.
Oh yeah, so if you didn't catch it that last week, the event is going on right now. I put out a video last week on tips and tricks for C3PO and his event and how to beat it, and hopefully it's been working out for a lot of you. I've seen a lot of feedback on the video talking about how it's worked for them, and using the Paplu Dispel and Elder the Elder Stealth. That strategy is working perfectly for a lot of people. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and go to our YouTube page. There's a C3PO video right there for you guys to check out if you're having trouble with the event. And then hopefully that'll give you some help and let you know what to do. So yeah, go check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, very good stuff. I learned some stuff watching the videos. Very, very good. Didn't help me because I already have 3PO, but fantastic video. So something I want to clear up, because we get this question all the time, and my schedule's kind of hectic currently, and my internet, if you're unaware, is really, really awful. So that makes getting the podcast out shortly after we do it very difficult for me. Unless we do a Thursday episode, then I'm usually able to edit Friday. But when we do a Friday episode, I am not able to edit the podcast until Sunday night. And so past couple weeks, we've had some tech issues and just things that have delayed it. There's just been a lot of silence in the communication, like hours of it. that was a joke, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
seriously, we've had some issues with that. So we got a schedule going. What our plan's gonna be. So we're gonna knock out the podcast whenever we do it, Thursday, Friday. We're gonna get it on YouTube, so you can always go to YouTube and listen. Twitch, I believe, actually has an audio only thing as well, so you can go listen there too if you would like. And then the audio podcast, we have taken some extra steps as far as redundancy on recording and everything so that we don't have any issues whatsoever. But we will, I will be getting the podcast out come Monday morning. It will be out. I don't think with what we're doing, I don't think there should be any issues. So Monday morning, expect the podcast to be there. It won't be there before that because I'm with the move and everything. I'm working Sundays and I don't have time until Sunday night to really do it. So that's going to be our schedule going forward.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into this.
Hey guys, what did you do in SWGOH this week?
What a week in SWGOH. Of course, because we got Grand Arena going on, we got a TV going on, all sorts of exciting stuff. So as far as quests, how are you doing on that Jedi quest? I know you're on one of the Jedi Master quests, right?
I am on the last step of Jedi Knight 4 of 4.
Okay, you're Jedi Knight 4. Okay. So you're getting there. I am on the third Jedi Master quest, and in this one you have to defeat 200 Sith with Grandmaster Yoda, face Grievous and win a certain node, and then earn 100 stars in territory battle. So we're in the middle of territory battle. This will be the second territory battle, and then I will need one more territory battle after that, and I will complete this quest. Very exciting stuff. But I finished up another quest that I was doing this week. It was one of the Grand Arena ones, so now I'm back to one of the Sith ones. And there's one where you have to kill like 1,000 Galactic Republic enemies with Count Dooku present. It's the Sith Agent second tier, and there is a node. It is Dark Side 4L, and you can get 15 of those guys in one battle, so you can knock that out pretty quick by doing that. So I thought I'd throw that little tidbit out there. I completed one of the other quests that gave me the stuff to craft the 6,500 health Gear 12 Plus piece, so I'm gonna figure out someone to put that on because those things are just fantastic, obviously. There was, due to Grand Arena, I was kind of messing with my teams a little bit, trying to make them a little bit more efficient for defense such, and I started looking at my Ewoks, of course, because Ewoks have been a big topic this week, and I came up with an idea. I was going to remod my Ewoks, but not entirely. I was only going to remod one of them, and I remodded Wicket. I'm itching for someone to get to this team in Grand Arena. My first opponent didn't make it to my Ewoks, but I cannot wait because my Wicket is 294 speed. He is unbelievably fast. So I am really dying for somebody to go in and battle them because at 294, he's going to go really early unless you're using a fast team to stop him. And he has 75% crit chance. So there's a great chance he's going to be giving, 20, 30, 40% turn meter to his Ewok buddies. And, if he does that, you're just in a bad spot. So that was my idea there. Just kind of create a infinite turn loop, and he's kind of the keystone character for that. There are a lot of these teams that kind of have that keystone character that really makes them go, and Wicket is the one for the Ewoks for sure. I know a lot of people probably don't have Wicket, but ideally he's the character you want to go with. So Yeah. And something else, I reanalyzed my thoughts on the crit avoidance on General Kenobi. Somebody mentioned this in chat. So this week, man, I started dropping to like the 40s. No idea what the deal was. So, I decided, somebody said they weren't having much success with the crit avoidance on General Kenobi, so I decided I'd change things up and just kind of see how it goes. So I switched to a speed arrow and dropped Hermit Yoda and put in Bastila Shan. Just because, like I said, I was dropping to the 40s. Well, next day I dropped to like 46 or something. Didn't quite drop out top 50, but close. And that happened for a couple days. Stuck Hermit Yoda back in, kept dropping a lot. Then I sped up Kenobi a little. I changed one of his mods. I can't remember what it was. Gave him a little bit more speed, and then the past 2 days I dropped to like 15. So I don't know. It's random. It really is random. I don't know that there's much of a difference. I think the best argument for not using crit avoidance on General Kenobi is the fact that he is going to get his mass attack earlier, which does one very important thing. It will allow Jolee and Grandmaster Yoda, well, Jolee to recover health off his basic and Grandmaster Yoda gain turn meter off his basic. So I think those two things just happening earlier can change, the way everything else happens down the line, So I don't know. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's worse. It's definitely different. So especially if you're using Hermit Yoda, I think there might be more of an argument for the speed arrow, just because also on that mass attack, everyone else is gaining the 5% turn meter also off of Hermit Yoda's basic. So I think that that's something else that could factor in. So anyway, that is kind of my thoughts there. Farming. Man, what? Actually, before we get to farming, because we'll use the farming to transition to your week in SWGOH. I found a mod. It was in the mod store. And this mod was... It had 4 things that I love. It had crit damage primary. It had speed secondary. It had offense secondary. And it had offense percent secondary. 3.91 million credits. I'm like, I've got to buy that. You almost can't go wrong on the secondary stats. So I was like, sure. What the hell? Let's see what happens. So I bought it, and only one stat increased. Could you please pull that up on the screen? It is
currently on the screen.
It is. Woo! How about them apples, man? Like,
that's ridiculous.
What's speed on that? 24? Is that
24.
Good? I think it is. Yeah,
it's okay. It's all right.
Not too shabby. Man, just stupid luck. And I put it on CLS. It's perfect for him. It's just one ridiculously unbelievable mod. This is 2 weeks in a row that I've gotten just a complete and total god mod, speed-wise. And
I'd say so.
Man.
What was that mod that I sent
like
you
it.
in Discord the other day? I think I sent it. Let me find it. I sent it to you and I sent it to you and McMull.
Yep.
Gosh, it was nasty. It procced just as many times as your speed, but I think it was tenacity. Let me see. I'll get it here in 2 seconds.
I think you're right.
All right, here it is. I said not exactly what I was going for. It wasn't tenacity, it was potency. This mod has 5 hits on potency. It's an offense primary square with 9.21% potency.
That is a crap ton of potency.
9.2%.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's nuts, man. Nothing wrong with that, though, to be honest. Like, that's... speed would have been better, but there were certainly uses for 9% tenacity, especially when we're talking about raids and such. which we'll kind of talk about here in a second, because potency is going to be important in one of our segments here in a minute. All right, so farming. Juwani, I was 2 out of 85 last week. I am all the way up to 7 out of 100. So that was 85 shards, I believe, or no, 90 shards I got this week. Basilisk Sean, I went from 76 out of 100 to 94, so 18 shards gained on her. I haven't been doing node refreshes much for her. Karth Oh Nasty, 34 out of 65, all the way up to 0 out of 100. I mean,
How?
that's some serious gains right there, right? Like,
yeah, like that's ridiculous.
Yes.
I thought that was out of 85 the first time I read it, and then I just realized now it was 34 out of 65.
Yes. Yes,
That
I
is
did some serious work on it. So
85 plus
there,
another
I do
30.
believe
Holy crap.
2 or 3 times I bought shards. It's 116 shards I got this week. A couple times I bought from the shipments because I have the crystals and I know I'm not going to get him finished when I need to get him finished, or when I'm expecting I need to get him finished, without spending those crystals and buying him from the shipments. And then Ebon Hawk came, and I bought the ship energy deal. I've been doing 200 crystal refreshes on the node, which I am generally not an advocate for. However, when you're getting a ship and a character, I'm okay with it. Plus, I'm doing all the 100 crystal refreshes on energy anyway. Buying the crystal energy pack or the ship energy pack, what is that? 100? It's basically like a 113 crystal energy refresh. So I was all over that. I just started doing node refreshes, and man, about the past 3 or 4 days, I've had really, really good drops on Karth, because everything before that was total just hot garbage. But like I said, only 100 left. I see the finish line, and I am sprinting towards it. Ebon Hawk, just today, obviously, because this is the only day it hasn't even been here 24 hours yet. And 48 out of 80 shards as far as getting very close to unlock. So, yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with my progress on the farms this week. What about you, Senor?
I'll say on Ebon Hawk, so far today, I usually finish up all my refreshes and such at after the podcast, because my daily refresh after changing my time zone is now 3 a.m. So I got all the time in the world after the podcast to finish dailies. But just using a 600 the 600 crystal ship energy pack, I'm up to 32 out of 80 on Ebon Hawk. So I might
nice.
I'm not really going after it like on purpose. I'm just kind of going after Karth, so it's happening on its own. But yeah, 32 out of 80, so I'll get there. I mean, I unlocked the Emperor's Shuttle pretty much the same way when it was here. Yeah, because the Emperor's Shuttle's at 13 out of 65, so I unlocked it and got a few more shards by the end of the event. So pretty sure I'll do the same thing for this one by the end of it, at least have it unlocked. So, but who knows now? We got another ship before we got Emperor's Shuttle to come back, so I don't know how long we'll have to wait for these ships to come back.
Yeah,
but as long as I unlock it,
that's the big question.
It's all good.
Cool.
Yeah. So what's it? Oh, I'll go over my farms real quick.
Okay.
This is the part that makes me angry. Karth Oh Nasty, I was 47 out of 65. Actually, me and you were both pretty much on par with Karth with what's gone on in the past week, because you got Karth to 0 out of 100, and mine is at 40. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of Juhani. I'm not even close. Yeah, this is the part that made me angry then. I'm only at 46 out of 85 on Karth, so I was 13 shards ahead of you last week, and now you're blowing me away. So that dude better step up his game for me. 46 out of 85 for Karth. Juhani, 80 out of 85. So I am pretty much staying right around. You got a lot more shards than me this week, but I'm almost where you are on that one. Badstilla.
I spent way more crystals than you did, probably, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've only been doing 2 refreshes on both these characters, so 80 out of 85 is pretty good. I still keep track of how many shards I'm getting a day, and with 2 refreshes, I'm averaging somewhere between 8 and 11 shards for each of them on the 2 a day on the 2 refreshes. So right about where you need to be. So it's working out. But Badstilla, I'm not even doing refreshes on her because I'm not worried about it once I hit 50. I'm still 43 out of 100 on her. And my Django, which is the only other hard note I'm farming, is 65 out of 100. So eventually he'll become a 7-star, but he took a huge back burner when these other characters came out. Let's see here. I remod Jolie this week. I realized that I just threw mods on her when I started when I started using him, but I started thinking about like how to make my Jolie last longer. He was only at 30,000 health and 30,000 protection, and I had been using him in the arena forever. I mean, it worked for me, so it wasn't an issue, but I was thinking maybe I could help my defense a little more by remodding this dude. And I remod him to, I think he's at 55,000 health now and about 50% tenacity. So you get that 25% crit avoidance as well as extra heals on the whole team. Definitely probably the smarter way to go there. But I'm kind of thinking about tenacity sets and trying them out instead of health sets. Because I was doing totally fine with the 30,000 health he had before. So I'm kind of curious if him just becoming an uncrittable machine would actually benefit him more than the health. I don't know. Have you ever tried tenacity on him?
Yes, I think health is leaps and bounds better than tenacity on Jolie for a couple reasons. So he already has high tenacity. So, I mean, he's got 70% crit avoidance anyway, without really doing anything at all to him. And then, I can't remember exactly what the number is, don't quote me on that. But, let's see. So, his unique ability gives him 30% extra health. So, for every little bit of health you add, you're getting more and more. So, say, for example, if you go with a 16% health mod, that is really like 20.8% health bonus because of his unique ability. And to me, I would much rather have all that extra health given how he recovers health and all that sort of stuff versus the tenacity, which will give you marginally better, chance at crit avoidance. But also, the health set is being useful 100% of the time. Tenacity is not, because you have tenacity up from Grandmaster Yoda. In addition to that, you have crit avoidance that crit immunity that gets given out by General Kenobi. So if he gets hit crit once, freaking tongue twister. If he gets crit once, it's not going to happen again. So,
well, here's the biggest thing, and I don't know how this interaction works, but his first unique, don't interrupt me, he gains 100% tenacity right off the top. So does he gain the bonus crit to be equal to half of that 100 plus whatever tenacity he had, or just that 100? So it's off the one if it's all right. So that's not too.
And then
I'm
think
okay
he has
with
like
50
a 40.
because that gives him 70. That gives him 75%.
Well, but he also
crit
has the
avoidance.
base. That's just off of his unique. His base tenacity. This is assuming he's maxed, is 39%.
Yeah.
So he's basically right at 70% crit avoidance if he's maxed. So.
Well, I was gonna say I don't need to put tenacity on him because he has mine with just the health sets I put on him is at 50%. So that's 75%
Exactly.
crit avoidance anyway, which is almost ridiculous anyway. So, all right. Now that we've talked that through, tenacity sets, don't need them. But that health is huge. So.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of almost
Huge
a
health.
modding section.
Huge. Yeah,
Huge.
exactly.
It's huge.
Yeah. He's fun with health too, man, just because, you know, you've got little Yodas and stuff that try taking him out. And, I mean, even a super strong attack, like a 30,000 damage attack, his bar just barely moves. That's awesome. It's also very annoying if it's happening to you, but you get my point.
Well, it's always happening to me, which is why I finally decided to use some free time to play with my Jolie mods. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, that's pretty much all I've been up to this week. Not a whole lot. Just farming and playing the normal things. Oh, I won my Grand Arena today, so there's
Ooh,
that.
congrats. Nice.
I'm 1-0. How about you?
Yep, 1-0.
Alrighty. We'll keep you updated.
We will.
Can I go back to being a champion after getting...
Ooh, yeah.
in
Man, they say
third
that
place
rebounding's
last time?
really hard. You know, you get down and it gets in your head, and you know, see how you do. We'll see how you do.
I
Why
don't know
don't we go
what
ahead
the
and-
dude I was fighting was doing today. Anyways, he cleared
What do you mean?
my bottom 2 sections.
Okay.
It took him 3 tries to kill my Treya team, but the other 2 on the bottom took 1 try. Then he cleared my Ewoks, but he didn't even attempt my Night Sister team.
Night Sisters
And I
are
cleared-
a pain in the ass. In
And I
5v5.
cleared his whole side. So I was like, well, if he clears my top all in one swoop, he might have a chance. But
Yeah.
I don't think he actually did, because I took 2 tries on 2 of his teams and the rest were full regular clears. So I don't know. He would have been close, but he didn't even attack.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
oh
Interesting.
well.
So, one thing I thought was interesting, the guy that I faced, he tried to go south, and he took out my Basilisk Squad in 1 attack, and then he went to my Emperor Palpatine team and lost. But it was interesting that he was trying to go south, because logically, you should go for... well, actually, no, I'm backwards. Logically, that is the way you should go. Because when you get to that last spot, you only have 1 team that you need to take out to clear the territory. So if you're not sure if you're going to clear a territory or not, you know, if you're short on teams on offense, going the direction that gets you to the spot that has the least number of teams, you know, can be an easy way to hopefully get, you know, some extra points. And that's why I always put a team that is a total pain in the arse right in that single spot on the GA map. All right, why don't we go ahead and jump to this next topic? It's gonna be awesome.
All right.
If I was a SWGOH character, how would you mod me?
Alrighty, now, we're gonna talk about C3PO. It's fitting because his event's going on. We were talking about Ewoks, and I mean, there are a few ways that you can approach the. There was a yawn if you missed one earlier. Several ways to approach C3PO in this game, obviously, but I wanted to go back to a question that was posted in our Discord, thanks to Dave Masai, and here it is. Quote, "Hey guys, I got C3PO 6-star. I put a Zeta on OMG. He has 79% tenacity, run in 212 speed, but I'd like to use him in arena with CLS, Chewie, Han, and Old Ben, but not sure if he's viable versus Revan teams in the top 150. So he wants to know how he should mod double Zeta CLS, gives us some information on his stats, his Zeta Chewie, Raid Han, Zeta to Old Ben. Great choice on that Zeta. So I figured this would be easier to just talk about here because there are 2 ways you can use C3PO, Rebels, Resistance, And I'm just going to talk a little bit about our strategies on both of these and, you know, give Dave a little bit of advice here. So whenever we're talking about the team in general, the C3PO being stuck with Rebels is obviously really good for Arena. It is an absolutely kick-ass team. Is it a Revan killer? I think we know the answer. No. I'm not even sure that they could beat a really well-modded Revan team, to be perfectly honest, just because, I mean, Revan's kind of OP, let's be honest. But, so Chewie, as we've talked about, tenacity is always a great choice on him because it allows him to keep attacking out of turn. That's not really a concern with Revan teams other than the fact they could get stunned. Getting stun's an issue, obviously. I know, man. God, it's killing me. The yawns, man, the yawns. And then you have Han Solo. He's your damage attacker. You can go in a lot of different ways. I go full offense on him. I don't care about speed. Other people care more about speed. To each their own. I do not worry about potency on Han, though. Especially if you're using him for Arena because of the fact that, hey, there's going to be tenacity up if you're facing Revan teams, and he's more of a damage dealer than a turn meter person anyway. His first stun is going to stick no matter what, so who cares? Now, C3PO, he's interesting because of everything he does. The debuffs, he basically debuffs and mass assist. But he gives potency to Rebels. He allows them to expose on basic. And there's a lot that interacts with the Commander Luke Skywalker Zeta Leader ability, where Rebels gain turn meter whenever there is a resisted, debuff. So, modding, I kind of think in general, I think how you're using 3PO affects how you mod the rest of the team. I don't know that it really affects how you mod C3PO. It's pretty much speed and potency. But I've seen a lot of people argue as far as making him tanky. He has stealth, so he gets away from people pretty easily. And having him fast will obviously allow him to get into stealth mode a little bit earlier. What do you think as far as speed and potency on 3PO?
I use speed and potency on 3PO, so I'm all for it. Although my potency is sitting at 92% right now, so I could probably get him all the way up. But yeah, he's got a really good base potency anyway.
Yes,
so it's really not that hard to get him up to 100 because my mods only add 27% and it's at 91. So
yeah,
it really wouldn't take too much more to get him to 100. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the easiest way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Since you don't need so much potency, you can focus more on the speed aspect of it. Because if it's speed and it's got a little bit of potency on it, even that little bit is going to help him to get him to where you want him to be. So you don't have to sacrifice 3 speed on C3PO to get more potency because you have a better mod with better potency that's got lower speed. So I would say just keep up the speed mod if it has potency on it and not to worry about it unless it's like 4% between the difference in the two. You know what I mean?
Okay. Makes sense.
So...
And, there are different places to use him. So, Sol in live chat mentions that he goes all health on 3PO. That way he can survive getting marked from Revan. If he is getting marked by Revan, definitely. I mean, going with health is a fantastic idea because if he dies, you're kind of screwed. So... if you're using him in Arena and you are facing Revan teams, I think that is a pretty good argument. And because, it's not like you're going to have that big of an issue with debuffs. You know, the ability to land debuffs is not going to be nearly as important because of you're going up against a lot of tenacity up. There's a lot of foresight. There are things like that that really screw with what you want to do with your team. So that's a pretty good argument for, you know, a lot of health and speed on 3PO and just go with it. Potency still can be moderately important, but like I said, I think that's a pretty good argument as far as, you know, arena team going specifically up against Revan for sure. What do you think?
I like it. I've actually never used C3PO against Revan, so I don't know the logistics and ins and outs of that, but that does sound... The logic is there from the way it's been presented. So
yeah, nice. Well, where else might you use him with Rebels aside from facing a Revan team in Arena or Grand Arena?
Well, that's the thing. I would probably use it there, but I haven't run into any... Well, I've run into Revans in Grand Arena, but I save my Revan for offense, so most of the time I just mirror match and win that. So most of the time, C3PO, I throw him obviously in with CLS, and that CLS, Chewie, Han, and C3PO could pretty much take anything by themselves. I usually just throw a tank in there, like a Baze or an old bin, just to have someone there in case. But I use those together because if you don't use C3PO in there, they're already melting things, but C3PO just makes it almost a guarantee. So that's the way I use them. Because that CLS team could pretty much take out anything.
It's a great team. I mean, CLS is, I mean, he's unbelievably good. I kind of hate using him with Han and Chewie just because generally for Grand Arena they're so overpowered. And then if you throw 3PO in, I mean, it's stupid.
I mean, it makes it easy for the Han Grand Arena quest, because if you use those 4, you're using an undersized team. If you're not getting 3v3 that often and you want to finish it quicker, you just use those 4 and you're using an undersized team.
100%.
So, yeah.
Yep, I agree.
But I pretty much always use C3PO with the Rebels because of the... And even if I don't use them, like in 3v3, I don't use C3PO with... I don't use them with the Rebels we're talking about now, because obviously I would just use Chewie, Han, and CLS together. But I usually throw C3PO in with like Baze and Chirrut, or Wedge and Biggs. Just some really good Rebels to get the extra exposes in on it. And those can usually mop up some backup teams that people put in. Not the top tier teams, but teams you're like, well, what can I put in this? What can I put in that's not going to put me out for some of the harder teams I'm going to face, right? You know what I mean? So I usually throw him in with 2 other Rebels and 3v3, and it works out pretty well.
Not a bad idea.
Well, that's another one that's good. The idea of Akbar, Leia, and C3PO. That's another one I've tried. I didn't like that one as much.
Pretty good.
But it is pretty good. I like to use Leia. I still like to use Leia with Nest in 3v3. Just those 2. Because if your Leia's fast enough, stealther, and they're just going to go at Nest forever while Leia goes off like a machine gun, because she never comes out of stealth unless the team... You got to pick your team wisely, because if they have a AoE Dispel, they're going to take the stealth off there. But if they don't have an AoE Dispel on a 3v team you're playing, Leia will just be stealth forever, and they got to hope that their defense can cut through the Nest, which doesn't usually happen. So,
yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So I do love using 3PO and Leia together for sure. 100% agree there. However, not with the leader ability you said. I like using them under Finn, and the team's not going to be around much longer. Once that Finn rework comes, it's not going to work, but
Yeah, for sure.
Dude,
that is a good
awesome.
one for now. And we have no indication
so
yet on when that's going to be actually fixed. So use it to your advantage. But the next 3v3 is at the end of the month of March. And we should have, the road ahead said we had a quality of life update coming. So if I had to guess, I would think that that's probably coming next week. If not, the week after that. So I would guess in the next week or two that Finn stuff's going to be gone. So because the end of the quarter is the end of this month, and they have to get that quality of life out in this quarter because of the road ahead. So
that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't want to talk about 3PO with resistance too much because of how much I think that's going to change with Finn. Right now in phase 3, they're so good they can clear that thing. They clear the raid. They're kind of pointless to even talk about just because of how overpowered they are, and the fact that it's not gonna be that way much longer. But man, C3PO is just he's gold with Rebels, and he's so versatile that in Grand Arena, like what you were saying with CLS, Han, and Chewie. I like splitting them up. Do Han, Chewie, and something else, and then CLS can basically take out a team by himself anyway, so I'll just stick some scrub in with him if needed, just as an insurance policy. And I don't know what I'm going to do with 3PO once the Finn rework comes. I really don't, because it's a tough decision, man. And I don't know. He might go back to being with Rebels because he's good. Right now I use Old Ben as kind of my fifth in that Rebel team if it's Grand Arena or Territory War, and I'm using them on defense or something, just because, they smash like nobody's business. But
dude, apparently people are filling out the bad pun square on bingo because you said C3PO is gold with Rebels.
Oh, that's very good.
Nice. Very
nice. Oh, man. Yeah. All right.
And I wanted to answer Joker's question from chat. He asked, do you think the data dump suggesting 4v4 is coming has any credence? They said that they were going to keep trying different things. So I would assume, obviously it's not this month, but I assume that it would be coming eventually. And
why not?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to not come.
Yeah, I like 3v3. I like 5v5. Why not throw another version of it out there? I would even do doubles. Doubles would be fun. I think there's a lot of different ways that would be fun. So 4v4, 100%. Bring it on. Although I would rather have doubles before 4v4. I think doubles would be more fun than 4v4. But it's whatever.
I think doubles would limit too many rosters. I don't know, though. Maybe not. Yeah. I'd like to see both of those, though. I agree. Well, have you started working on your 4v4 Grand Arena chart yet? With this news?
Yeah. No, because I have yet to go. If someone wants to drop I'm sure it's a Reddit post of this data dump. I haven't even read it yet. So if you have that information and you can put it into the Discord for me to read after the podcast, I would love to check that out. So
yeah,
that'd be cool.
All right, so
Blackbeard Pepe says, I think 2v2 Han and Chewie would beat anyone. I think I agree.
Yeah.
They would be ridiculous.
Yeah. They're ridiculous anyway. Yeah, they're kick-ass. All right, so anything else you want to mention regarding modding C3PO?
No. I think that's
I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
I just thought of it. So somebody in my arena been experimenting this week, and they're using an RJT lead with BB-8, R2-D2, C3PO, and Droideka and beating Revan teams.
Huh? I was reading a chat message.
Ah!
Yes.
RJT. Okay. RJT, BB-8, C3PO, R2-D2, and Droideka beating Revan teams. It's not super consistent, but it's kind of awesome. Like, it is pretty
it's
legit.
funny because RJT with a bunch of droids behind her has always been a team that existed and people use. So adding another droid that's good in there like Droideka does not surprise me that would work.
Yeah.
Because you always talk about RJT and the droids, and you never really know who the droids are that are in the team with them, but everyone seems to have a different RJT in the droids team. So I'm not surprised that one would work.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It looks like a lot of fun. I kind of want to test it, but haven't had time. Looks cool though. All right. We will move on to this next topic, but here we go.
Strong with us, this update is Young Padawans.
So, there was a ship that dropped. Why don't you tell us about this?
All right, so random as hell this week.
Very.
Just random things started popping off here on the end of the week and kind of came out of nowhere. But it all started with a tweet from Carrie that was in response to someone that was asking her if we were going to hear any news this week. And her response started this big old long rabbit hole people went down. And I can totally understand why. So anyway, someone tweeted her and asked her for news. And her response was this. Observation. Something will happen tomorrow. Now, tomorrow has come and gone, so we know what it was. But what everyone thought it was from that was... so what it was, she was referring to, was the Ebon Hawk coming to the game. While sneakily mentioning something else that eventually we found out was also true. But she was talking about Ebon Hawk, but the way that's worded is exactly how HK-47 talks in the KOTOR game. So everyone was going off about, okay, well, tomorrow we're going to hear about this, about HK-47 being reworked. And so we all started talking about that, and that was our belief. And yeah, so that's where we were. But what actually happened was this is part of the whole weirdness that went on. Suddenly, there was just this random post on the forums with a kit reveal for Ebon Hawk. No pictures in it, nothing. It was just all the text. Later, they put pictures into it and kind of filled it in to make it look like the kit reveals usually do. But Ebon Hawk just kit drop out of nowhere on Thursday. And
like a meteor out of the sky.
Yeah, it was nuts. So there it is. And it said nothing about where to get it. It was just a kit. And so everyone's thinking, okay, well, Ebon Hawk, that's a ship that everyone's wanted. It's probably a marquee. And then an update push got put into the game where everyone's like, okay, well, in 2 hours, there's going to be an update. So update came, and suddenly there's a new galactic chase ship, and it is the Ebon Hawk. So now we have Palpatine's command shuttle and the Ebon Hawk both as galactic chase ships.
You know what I love about the galactic chase?
What's that?
The percentage chance of getting a shard changes with the amount of energy you spend. I love it. I don't know, it's great. It allows you to farm anything you want and still get the shards for something. It's a fantastic way to do two things. To a lot of people farm what they want to farm while incentivizing people to do refreshes. It is a great idea.
So this is why I don't think that Galactic Chase so far has had the blowback that Mother Talzin's event and Wicket's event have had, because they're ships. And I think that's the only reason. But the Palpatine shuttle was what? The beginning of March it came out? Somewhere in there? Not March, February,
I don't remember.
Sorry. Because it's now starting to look like we don't know how long it's going to take to get these ships to 7-star because the ships aren't on any kind of cadence that we can see.
Schedule. Yeah.
So I can tell you this much. If they weren't ships, I would not be happy with what's going on with this. But since I don't care about ships as much as I do characters, it doesn't seem like it's gotten as bad of a response from people as those other events did. Because
that's
waiting a year just to get Wicket and Talzin to 7-star really was not a good call. Now, these ships, seems like it'll be a lot shorter than that as well, because I'm not halfway, but I'm well on my way to the next star on the shuttle after one iteration of the event. So the shards come quick. It's just we don't know how long between the events. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huh. That's like Chickenbottom said. I think it's the speed though. I got Palp shipped to 6-star in the first go and shooting for the same for the Ebon Hawk. Yeah, exactly. You get the shards faster than you did for sure with those other events. The only problem I have right now is that no indication at all. It's not on the calendar when we will see these ships again. So that's the only thing I'm seeing right now. But they're ships, so they don't bother me. If Galactic Chase isn't limited to just ships and eventually we see a character pop out this way, then it's gonna really irk me. So I don't know. Just the idea I had when we were thinking about this.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I agree with you. I think it's a little bit different because these ships aren't tied to Zetas. I think that was the problem with the Wicket and Mother 1000 event is you're being Zeta blocked by these characters, and that kind of creates a problem.
I mean, Zetas are one part of it, but people wanted them 7 stars more than the Zetas, I'm pretty sure. Especially Talzin. That was the biggest issue, is no one wanted to wait a year doing one event a month to get this character.
That's why they incentivized people to refresh nodes. Yay.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yay.
No reason to rehash that whole thing, but
I get your point. I want to give a shout out real quick.
Okay.
To my Saint Han brother, good old Maurice, we need more people on the Saint Han train. Like, all aboard, people.
Saint Han. I've never even thought about the fact that you got the ST there on the beginning of him.
Yeah.
Anything special about Saint Han?
He's
Does
great.
it just have to be Saint Han?
I mean, Saint Han in general, but Saint Zahn is really where it's at. I had to think on that one.
Yeah. Saint Zahn.
All right, so we want to go ahead and jump into that kit for that Ebon Hawk.
Yeah, let's do it. So this is the Galactic Chase ship, the Ebon Hawk, which takes Karth, Onasi, and T3M4. Those are the 2 pilots for this ship. You're looking at a basic called Heavy Laser. Oh, I don't have the pictures.
Fire the freaking laser!
I don't have the pictures. Why don't you read off that and I will add the picture.
Alrighty, basic ability, heavy laser turrets. Final text. Just moved on my screen. Final text. Deal physical damage target enemy and attack again. Grant another random buffed ally 15% turn meter for each attack. That is a total of 30% for those of you who are not good at math. Special 1. Karth Onasi's ability. Yeah, or... never mind. Potent Pilot, cooldown of 3. Final text, deal physical damage target enemy and dispel all debuffs, not debuffs, and dispel all buffs on them. This attack deals 20% more damage for each ally with Chaff and can't be evaded by Sith enemies. Chaff, immune to target lock. Every time I read that, I want to say chafe. It's not chafe, it's chaff.
Yes, every time I see it, I think the same thing. We really want to chafe these ships. Get them chafed.
Exactly. Special 2. This is T3M4's ability. Scramble Scanners, cooldown of 3, final text. Deal physical damage target enemy and inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Dispel target lock from all allies and grant them chaff for 2 turns. This attack gains 20% crit chance for each other cargo ship ally. Unique 1. Critical cargo. Final text. The Ebon Hawk gains foresight for 1 turn each time it is critically hit. It has plus 15% defense for each other ally, doubled for cargo ship allies. All allies have plus 20% potency, and the Ebon Hawk gains 30% turn meter each time it scores a critical hit. Hardware ability. Special delivery. Final text. Enter battle. Dispel target lock from all allies and grant them chaff for 2 turns. Dispel all buffs on all enemies and inflict evasion down on them for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded. Thoughts?
I like that. I like that reinforcement ability. Really.
I like a hell of a lot about this kit. It is. I totally agree. It's a great hardware ability. The biggest thing about this ship, in my opinion, is this will give you a second ship that can come in and dispel all buffs from the enemies. Cassian, this cat. That is great for, what is that game? Territory War. So being able to have one of those on offense and have one on defense, I think is going to be really important, because against these Falcon teams, you need to be able to dispel the buff so that you can get to the damn ship, because otherwise you're not going to get to the ship. So, and
the other great thing about it is, sorry, I didn't mean to, I thought you were done there.
No, I didn't have anything. Go.
I was gonna say the other thing with the crew ability for Karth is, you know, after you've brought him in, let's say you're fighting a Houndstooth, and he's just body blocking everything. Oh, he's still got a 3-turn cooldown ability that will dispel all the buffs on the. He's still got a dispel, so he can still keep doing that. What is the other one I like to use? Ahsoka does that pretty well, but you know that ship's old and not a lot of people use it. But the dispel has always been something that I liked about it. But so add in that 3-turn cooldown dispel for this, and I think that makes the ship even better. All right over there?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Sure.
Okay. Just making sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what were you gonna say? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just think that it's an interesting. I think it's a good support kit. Like, I don't think it's gonna be. I think he's a good ship for. I think he fits right in what Galactic Chase is. Here's a ship. You can earn its charge just by farming normally. It's not super hard to get. It might take a little time, but once you finally get it and you end up getting it 7 stars, then you will be able to have another ship in your repertoire to put in as a reinforcement that does a specific duty for you in PvP. And I think his kit is going to be really good for that.
100%. And the big thing I like about it is the fact that it has synergy with cargo ships. So the Phoenix ship, the Falcon ship, the synergy-ness, it's awesome. The other thing is when the ship's in, because he gains 30% turn meter on a critical hit, you know, there's a lot of opportunities for you know, him to get called in, like if you're using him with the Falcon team because of the Akbar with the AoE and the Bigs and the call-ins and all that sort of stuff. Really digging it. It's It's a very interesting kit. It's a little bit different, and it's really good. I love that it has another buff immunity. You know, it's got a wide variety. It's kind of it kind of does a little bit of everything, and the biggest thing is the fact that they finally introduce a buff that prevents target lock. Because for so long, target lock's been the only thing that matters, and this kind of slows that down just a little bit.
Nope. I like it. I don't think it's like an overpowered kit or anything, but I definitely think it's one that's being put into the game for a specific purpose, and it'll definitely be a good tool to have in your ship lineup. So,
yep,
I like it. It's cool. Very similar to the kit, the way we talked about the kit for the Emperor shuttle when it came out, because that kit also has a lot of utility as kind of a support ship. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Indeed.
Yep. Very similar kit synergies between the two that have come out for Galactic Chase. So I'm digging that. Now, the other thing with the Ebon Hawk that happened, big deal here. In the reveal video for the Ebon Hawk that was posted on the EA Star Wars Twitter, you watched it. It talked all about the Ebon Hawk and the things it does, and then you notice there's still like 15 seconds left on the video, and I'm like, what are they filling that last 15 seconds with? Well, it cuts out from introducing the Ebon Hawk, and suddenly it's panning out from the back of the ship or the front of the ship, I don't know, and it's got the little drawbridge portal. I don't know what that thing that falls down is, whatever. Anyways, out of it starts walking HK-47 with his gun, and he says, these are his exact words, statement, HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
Ooh.
And then it just cuts out. And you're like, well, Carrie passed it off that the way she was talking a day ago was about the Ebon Hawk when we found out the kit reveal. But then on top of that, they dropped this video and HK-47's in it. So it's like, I bet she was talking about HK-47, but passed off to the Ebon Hawk because HK-47's ridden in it so many times. But yeah, so a lot of stuff to digest from that. First off, this is from Carrie on Reddit today. She said, yeah, so in a perfect world, what would have happened is that hint wouldn't have been interpreted as a rework happening today. Then when the trailer released, there was another related reference and everyone would have fun and I wouldn't be in trouble. But alas. So, I think we can all pretty safely assume that HK-47 rework is happening. The video was supposed to be the thing that dropped that hint, and then everything would have been kosher because the video... But here's the thing. The video, when I watched it, still awesome. Still, I wouldn't say jaw-dropping. I don't think that's the way you say it. Jaw-dropping. But I still watched it and was like, oh, crap. And it wasn't so much for the HK-47 rework. It was because he said, HK-47 is ready to serve Master. You know who his master was, right?
I don't. I should.
His master was Revan.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly. He's ready to serve his master, Darth Revan, is my assumption. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm really hoping that we get some kind of news because it just keeps rolling, this idea that Darth Revan is coming. And so that just was another wrench in the spoke.
We need a new meta so bad. I love Jedi. I love Grandmaster Yoda. I love all Yodas. But my God, I'm so tired of this meta. It is. It's like.
We need a Wampa
It's
meta.
like bamboo shoots up the fingernails. It's every day. It's so
you know what I want?
awful.
I want a non-KOTOR meta. How about that? I don't want a Traya meta
That would
anymore.
be
I don't want a
great.
Jedi Revan meta anymore. I don't want a Bastila meta. Make something else happen.
I want rock, paper, scissors. Where'd the rock and the paper go? We're left with scissors. That's it. Scissors are dangerous when left to their own devices.
Well,
Bring back the paper and the rock.
That's the other thing about this, what's going on right now. People, for the longest time, they had this really good mix of teams that could take number one. But if you look at the meta report now, 4/5 of the meta is just one leader. And that's not parity. That's super boring to me. I absolutely despise these mirror matches at this point because I've been doing them for so freaking long. Man, I'm just ready.
The same pattern over and over. The same pattern over. The same pattern over. Oh, shoot me.
No. I want some Clone Wars meta, please. Once the new Clone Wars, last Clone Wars season comes out, let's slowly work our way that way, please. Or
if we ever
9.
get a
episode 9's coming.
I will protest. I swear to God.
The only reason is because you're not ready.
No, it's because I hate them.
I can't wait for it. Oh, to be honest, because then you'll have to. Well, you won't have to. I mean, I guess you could do whatever you wanted, but seeing you have to gear the clones would be great.
So do you like? They dropped the hint. I mean, it can't be too far away. I mean, what is the HK rework and Darth Revan dropping next week? What do you think?
I think if I'm going to be Dan Stradamus, which I haven't done for a while, I think that we're going to get some kind of hint. Let me put this out there first. As Game Changers, we don't know anything about what's going on right now. So this is not hinting at anything.
We know.
I didn't even
know what you know.
I didn't even know Ebon Hawk existed until that kit dropped. So
we found out when you did.
So I don't know what's going on, but if I have to guess, this is pure guesswork. Dan Stradamus here. Mark it, write it down. Let me know if I'm right. I would think that Monday, Tuesday, we get the rework kit. And then I would say Wednesday, next week, we either get the quality of life update with the rework in it. That's my guess. So Monday, HK rework kit, Wednesday, quality of life, and HK47. That's my guess. And then sometime on Friday, I would guess, after we've played with the HK47 kit, sometime Friday, I would think maybe we'd get some kind of information, because it always seems like a Friday when we're doing this podcast that SB Crumb drops some kind of news about what's coming up. So I don't know. That's my guess. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's my guess for what's going to happen next week.
All right. So this is, I want to say conspiracy theory, but not really. So everybody knows their quarters, and we're in quarter 4 for CG. So January through the end of March. What's been their big seller this quarter? We've had General Grievous. That didn't go well.
There was a legendary, wasn't there? Yeah, wasn't Han in January?
No.
Or was it the end of December?
You talking about the Falcon?
Yeah.
No, I think that was December, wasn't it?
Isn't December part? No. I don't know, man. It seems like there was something in the last 2 months.
I feel like there has to be something big coming. Joker said he also thought that Falcon was January, so maybe. I feel like there's got to be something big coming before the end of the quarter, and so it makes sense that the DS Revan. Dude, I swear to God, if we have an entire year as the character from Star Wars Revan being the meta for one whole year in this freaking game, I'm gonna lose it. I'm not even playing. There are so many better options. Why does that have to last this long? Come on.
Seriously. Especially since it seems like from our poll, at least 50% of people never even played KOTOR. So all these characters being added, it's like,
exactly.
Don't really care about this one either.
Well, KOTOR. If you like the KOTOR characters, you know what you can do? You can go play them anytime you want. Do you know how? KOTOR. It's very simple.
The actual game?
Doesn't need to be SWGOH. Go to KOTOR. It's on mobile, people. I'm getting ranty. You ready to go to this next topic?
I'm always ready. Let's go.
Alrighty.
You don't always have to pay for the best. Sometimes the best things in life are free.
Oh yes, it's time to give away some stuff for free to you. We are very excited
Get that
about this.
Skrilla. Get that Skrilla.
All right. So,
So, I mean, I'm waiting. What is it?
I would like to say a big, huge shout out to all of our patrons, all of our Twitch subbers, you know, everybody that allows us to keep doing the show. We really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. We love you all. And our patrons, I am going to run down and name. Let's see how bad I screw this up.
Oh, I love this part. All right. Well, yeah, take a drink. Get ready.
All right. We have 2 new ones for the month of March that I would like to mention. Joined just, I believe, today, actually. Bedor and Saul. Appreciate it. Familiar with both of you as well. We really appreciate it. And Bedor, welcome back to the SWGOH universe. Our February patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. Those of you that I owe roster reviews to, hit me up and we can, of course, schedule that and, you know, get that sort of stuff out there. Here we go. Potterhead76, Simma, SupremeVengence, Jpod, EltonBlues, Vos Landeck, DorianBlade, Randy Marsh, JaredT, ElectroDuval, Azaziel, Chickenbottom, BMZR, Kvothe, aka Cable, Rooskis, BMZR. This one I knew I was going to butcher. I'll just go with Ben_NZ because that makes it easier on me. Benzie. Oh yeah, that's Benzie. I like it. Yeah, there we go. That's way easier. Zsplash, Stlbrews, Recoyle, Worbobby, DrSheSith, Turner Viobi, Tiric Thorn, Ringer Rock, Painted Land, Boba Finn, Jitsu Jet, M4, Sokar, the James, Seafrondine Paxton, Wookie Cookie, Gorstag, Laoran Dethein, Mykhal Bluuthe, Infidel Zyzer, Darth Molly McMull 2, Sleepy Bulldog, Ron Paul Bunyan, and Han Pikey.
Han Pikey.
Woo! Thank you
All right,
guys.
you did
we
it.
appreciate it. We
Rolling
love you guys.
in the Benzie.
Rolling in the Benzie. Nice, I like it. Alright, so if you are unfamiliar with how we do things around here, what we do is we do giveaways. And so we are going to give you have a choice, people. You can have either a Shattered Order t-shirt, take your choice, do you Mod Pro or the original SO, or a $30 gift card. We will go to our, let's do Twitch first.
All right, who we got for the Twitch winner?
Do you want to pick a number?
I will pick a number between what and what.
Pick a number between.
I got a number.
All right.
17.
17. All right. 17 is. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna butcher it. Erethizan. Erethizond. I think that's how that's pronounced. Erethizan. Congratulations. Hit us up because obviously we don't have a way to contact you through Twitch. I don't think. I don't know. Hit us up. Let us know what you want. We can get you a $30 gift card or an SO t-shirt. It is your choice.
Giving you the power of choice.
We like choice, indeed. All right, so our Patreon people. We have 2 giveaways to do for you people because we love you. All right. Mr. Punk.
Yes.
Gosh dang it. I'm trying to find the number. Hold on. Ramble for a second.
Ramble for a second. All right. Well, still waiting for my GNP driving the SO bus shirt. No. Was it the SO bus or was it the struggle bus? I can't remember what we were talking about that day. But man, I got so many shirt ideas in my head. I still got to put them all down, and I'm still trying to rework the Bleedo one that we were having trouble seeing. So I have to come up with something else there. But Bleedo, Jerry, and the SO bus, all on the top of my mind.
All right. I need you to pick a number between 1 and 31.
1 and 31. All right, I'm going to go with 29.
29.
Who's 29?
39.
Who just won something?
This is going to be...
Did you say 39 or 29?
You said 29. I said 31.
Okay. So my answer was 29.
Your number was 29. Oh my god. This is so annoying. There we go. All right. Our winner is Rock.
Rock. You are the winner.
Thank you, buddy. Let us know t-shirt or gift card. And for our $10 gift card, you will pick a number between 1 and 45. Good night, Punk.
1 and 45. 3.
Oh. Whew. What a number, man. 3.
I mean, I feel like those people that are always on the fringe edges, they don't get represented very often. So I'm going from one edge to the other edge.
Okay. I see what you're doing. All right. SupremeVengence.
SupremeVengence. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And thank you to all of you for the support. Patreon.com/shatteredorder. If you would like to support the show there, we would appreciate it. And it gets you entered to win a gift card or a t-shirt. It is your choice. And of course, we'd also like to thank our friends over at Blue Designs. BlueDesigns.com. Use promo code SOPOD. Get 20% off your order, whether it's some amazing headphones, microphone, or any other accessories that they have there at the store. Really high quality stuff that we highly recommend. And of course, we're doing a giveaway this week. Whoever the first person is to submit that bingo card. Has anyone got bingo yet?
I haven't been sent one. I don't know what your Discord's looking like, so no bingos yet. I know that there was a lot of it that hinged on... There were at least 4 or 5 squares that hinged on trivia. So I think once we get to trivia is when we'll probably end up knocking them out. But if you're in chat, let us know if any of you are getting close, because I'm kind of curious what it's looking like.
Cool. All right. Well, I think it's time to go to this next thing.
Since everyone loves a good poll, let's dance through the results and see what you thought this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Poll yeah.
Poll yeah. There's a bad
All right.
Yeah.
I've already covered that. 152 responses this week. I like it. I like it a lot. All right.
Yes, thank you.
So, you knew this is where we were starting. How excited are you for the Ebon Hawk? The options are 1 through 5, 5 being most excited, 1 being I don't give a damn. So, how did things fall? Let's take a look. Do what?
I was just going to say, I am surprised at the amount of number 1. The amount of people that said 1. Now, it wasn't the highest, but it was the second highest. The highest was a 3. So,
why does that surprise you?
anything new, most of the time, the 1's always the lowest. This one isn't even close to the lowest. 5 and 2 are the lowest. So, yeah.
I think there are multiple reasons for this.
Yeah.
Multiple. Literally multiple. So, all right, so 3 was the highest, 27%. Then the second was 1 at 22.4%. And I think the reason is because people don't really care a whole lot about ships, or they don't know what the hell the Ebon Hawk is. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. I mean...
I just figured out when it came into the game. I didn't even know Karth was the pilot. How am I supposed to be excited for this? I think the kit looks cool, but I don't really care.
That's how half these KOTOR characters have been for you and I. The kit looks cool.
That's true.
Don't really know who they are, but that's fine. I'll use them.
100%.
So, yeah. I don't know.
And then the third highest response was 4. It had just under 22%.
Yeah, so you got a good mix of 3s and 4s there, and then a lot of 1s. So kind of mixed reviews on what people on their excitement for it. But this is one that people thought could even be a legendary. Those was KOTOR fans, I'm sure. But here it is dropping as a galactic chase ship. So yeah. That's the reason why there are so many 1s is probably why it's a galactic chase ship and not a marquee or a legendary. So, there you go.
All right. Next question. GoodNightPunk.
All right, next question. How much of your resources will you be spending to unlock the Ebon Hawk? And the overwhelming percentage, 2/3 of the people polled said, just another reason to spend fleet energy to unlock Karth. I expect to unlock it, but it does not matter at what star level. And that is exactly where I would be. Because I'm not changing my farming strategy besides maybe using a little more energy on Karth than I normally do every day, knowing that I'll get more for my crystals. So,
yeah, I'm with you.
Second biggest chunk, 27%, so almost the other third of answers were, I'll spend my fleet energy, but do not care if I unlock it. So, final biggest chunk of the pie was with about 6% was, I will get it to 7-star by the time the event finishes. So there's some people that are planning to get it to 7-star.
That was a really bad whale sound.
No, I didn't know what... It sounded like a bomb dropping, and I was like,
that was terrible.
I don't know where we're going with this, but
listeners, that won't happen again. I promise. That was bad.
I hope it does. To be honest, I love when you make sounds that I have no idea what they mean. It's pretty great.
If you have to explain the sound, you shouldn't have made it. Which leads us into the next question. All right, we know the rework is coming for HK47, but when? There were 4 possible options, and the biggest chunk by a long shot. Statement, next week. And that is what we just talked about, which we both agree with. The second largest chunk had almost 30% of people that said the conclusive statement, it was in the road ahead, and the quarter ends this month, so no more than 23 days. So basically, there's only 21% of people that think, well, actually, one of the answers, one of the 10.5% was today or tomorrow, which it doesn't look like that's going to be correct. And then the other 10.5% was, I will serve my master once I have been fixed properly. I assume HK47 would say something like that.
For those of you that read this question and were like, when was he mentioned in the road ahead? He wasn't directly mentioned, but Carrie's sign off on the road ahead was called everyone meatbags, which is HK47's thing. So that's where he was mentioned in the road ahead, but there was never a mention of a rework for HK47 in the road ahead, just a shout out to him and the way he spoke. So there was that.
Gotcha.
Next question. What is the highest level of galactic bounties 2 you can complete? And it goes from Kira, the bottom, Visas Mar, Amelin Holdo, Fulcrum, Infus Nest, or still waiting on my Bounty Hunter license from Coruscant, which is, I can't beat any of them right now. So, biggest chunk of people, 65%, so almost 2/3 again, can said that they can beat the last section, or the last battle, the hardest one, Infus Nest, the one that gives you the portrait and obviously the nest shards. But the second highest chunk was the Fulcrum version, which is the second hardest. So one below nest, that's where people can get the furthest. And then you got varying numbers all the way down. Yeah, so pretty much everyone can get up to, most people can get up to nest, or most people can get up to Fulcrum. Nest, 66% of people. So people aren't having that big of trouble with this event. I myself aren't even I haven't even attempted Nest yet, because I don't care about the portrait as much as I care about Visa's Mars shards, since I already have Nest at 7 stars from back in the day. If you all remember that story.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I always go Visa's Mars. I assume I can beat Fulcrum. I assume I can beat Nest, but I definitely only do the Visa's Mars one,
So the if you haven't checked off Yawn on bingo, that was your chance. So I do the Infus Nest one because I am still farming her, obviously. And man, those thermal detonators are awesome. If you are one of those, 35% people that's not completing that one, and if you want to, it's all about thermal detonators. Do not use what's-her-face to blow up the thermal detonators. Try to keep them stacking, and just eventually let those kill Nest off. Just slow them down a little bit, load everybody up with survivability, and let the thermals do their thing. That's pretty solid strategy.
Oh man, Nest today, I think I mentioned this in chat, but I don't think I said it to you. Nest today clutched in Grand Arena for me. I forget what the team I put around her was, but it was one that kept her alive long enough to keep going over and over against the Night Sister team. Completely everyone around her died, but her AoE was strong enough after building up the offense to take out the entire Night Sister team. It was awesome.
Dang.
She just destroyed them. It was amazing.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. Pretty impressive that I had her for offense, because I always forget to put her on defense. But yeah,
oh yeah,
great on offense. Worked really well.
Very
Didn't
nice.
really work well that everyone died around her, but I still won it, so whatever.
All right, so the next question is regarding C3PO. At what power have you advanced C3PO? So this is basically stars, gears, zetas. Most people have him at 7-star. There was a smaller percentage that did not have him unlocked. 15 people out of the total 130 or 150 something responses. So that was pretty small. There's not a whole lot of people that are unlocking him and not getting him to 7-star at this point. So that is good. Moving on to gear, most people have him gear 12, but only 88 people, versus you still have, the 41% people that are below gear 9 or not unlocked, and then you have 18 people at gear 11 and 6 people at gear 10. So the graphs get a little bit closer under the gear category. And
it's weird too, because that number for gear 9 or lower or not unlocked is pretty high. It seems like people don't there's a good chunk of people that aren't focusing on gearing him after they've unlocked him.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Well, he really doesn't need a lot of gear, honestly, unless you're using him in arena. Raids, he's not really going to get hit, so that's not a terrible idea, honestly. And then as we move on to the Zetas, there was, let's see, 67% of people have both the Zetas on him. There are 32 people with one Zeta and 32 people with no Zetas, and then of course those people that are not unlocked.
Idea for the next bingo card: Wink gets tongue-tied.
Oh, yeah, that happened quick.
Yes, over and over.
All right, give my tongue a break and tell us what this next question is.
All right, increased power Geonosians. How well did they perform in the territory war for you? This is a 1 through 5 question again. Once again, right up the middle. 33%. 1/3 of people said they were just average in territory wars with this buff. The very next one is 26% with a 5. So saying, hey, you know, they did really well. And I'm willing to bet that the 3 is more of an indication of people not having their Geonosians really well geared. So, like, I assume that that's, since a lot of it has to do with health, you know, once you get them higher geared, they perform better. If you're just trying to use them at the normal areas, it's not going to be as effective. So you're probably seeing a more average performance from them. But a lot of people do have them gear 12 for their ships. So those people probably are seeing the more of the 5 range of usefulness. But the very next one was a 1. It's 18%. So a lot of people just weren't seeing anything out of it. But I still think that all this is based on gear. I mean, not a lot of people have Geonosians geared. And even if they did, what are the odds their Poggle was good? You know, there's no reason to gear Poggle. So,
used to be.
I don't know. There used to be.
Offense up was
not
nasty
so much anymore.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
So I have a question. Can you explain the graph issue on the live stream?
The what?
People are complaining about the questions on the live stream.
People are complaining about. Stay on the question you're currently on. Oh, yeah. That can happen. It's just I used to do that, and then I would not move them because we'd be talking, and then they would move themselves. They would not get moved at all, and you'd have the same one there the entire time. So I can go back to doing it that way. It's just more work for me, but you know what? If it makes your experience better, I will do it that way next week. So
you know what you should do?
I got you guys. What's up?
Could you just do like a screen share just that window, and then as we scroll reading them, it changes on the live stream?
There's things I can do. We'll fix it for next week for everyone.
All right, so we'll see how that goes next week. All right, cool. Next question is, how much have you spent on SWGOH?
You skipping the Darth Revan question?
No, was there one?
Yeah, Darth Revan question mark.
I did.
Panic Farm in all caps, or Panic Farm lowercase with a question mark? And
I'm kind of surprised. I figured it would have been the other way around.
I know, right? More people are just like, Panic Farm. 56% of people, and the other 45% or 44% say Panic Farm, all caps.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well,
I'm moving. Wow, that what just happened to my voice? Anyways, sorry about that.
I missed it.
I don't know.
I missed it.
Yeah, go back, rewind it. We'll hear it. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I will say this. I am moving closer to the Panic Farm question side than the Panic Farm cap side the longer these characters have been
That's
farmable.
a good point. Yep.
So, without any news. So, I don't know.
Yeah. For sure. I'm kind of in the same boat. All right, so how much have you spent on SWGOH? This one I am very excited about. So the biggest portion of this pie is 45% of people said, I have been accused of being a dolphin spender from time to time. That's a pretty good pool of people. 21% said not any more than they would spend on any other game. Ooh, that was a struggle. Stupid yawns just try to come out of nowhere. The next largest portion of the pie was almost 16% that said, not much, just that once for the character I had to have. That's kind of the category I fall in. And then you have 8.5% that said $0 exactly. Free to play all the way, baby. Woo! And then there is almost 8% that says, I am a whale, but I enjoy the game and I can afford it. Someone has to pay the developers' salaries. That is true. That is why capitalism is beautiful.
Let me compare it to something else that I play a lot of, and that's Apex Legends. If you're not playing it, super fun game, also by EA. Really, really fun battle royale style game. You can get on PS4 or Xbox One or PC. But anyways, it's a free-to-play game. Everything is free in it. But there are boxes you can buy with real money that have skins and just a bunch of like vanity items to make things
Puts
look
the lotions
cooler.
on the skins.
Yes, but there's also 2 characters you can buy with money, or you can play the game and unlock them later. Much like with this game, this is what that answer really said to me. It's like, yeah, and no, someone gave me crap for buying one of the characters in that game when I could get it for free later, and it's like I play the game all the time, so many hours. It's free. I have spent nothing on it to get it and spent hours and hours on it. So to me, spending $15 here to buy something in that game is just rewarding the people that make it for the great game they've made, and I'm playing it for free. So spending that money really feels like not a waste, because I'm going to keep playing that game for a long, long time. You know what I mean? So. Oh, okay. Well, for everyone else, that was my point.
I wasn't paying attention. I was reading some of the write-in answers that people had.
Oh, yes, there was especially the one that says GNP sucks at Apex Legends. I know exactly who wrote that. Thank you, Wookie Cookie. Who I run with all the time in there.
Nice. Somebody said over 50K to the question above, but we don't know his name, so he's safe. Darn.
That is out of control. That's crazy. He must have a really golden roster.
Yes. Oh, I can imagine. To Mangler and Cody from the Republic. Hey, babes. That was a request. We can totally do that. Do you even mod, bro? To whoever said you love us, we love you too. It doesn't matter who you are. We love you.
Totes my goats.
What's in the vape pen? People want to know what's in the vape pen. Yeah.
Well, they're making a assumption that it's actually a white mystery flavor from Airheads. So okay. It's freaking delicious.
I got a funny story I could tell, but I'm not going to. I might tell it in Discord though. Anyway, how about we jump to the next topic?
Hey, let's get out of this awkwardness very quickly.
Someone has been very bad.
That's not the one I meant to play.
Hey boys, do you have any tips for us less experienced players?
So I got a very big tip here.
I'm sure you do.
Very big tip.
So hilarious. You haven't done that in a long time, but I almost put Wink plays the wrong sound clip as a bingo square. And it would have worked beautifully.
Yep. Indeed.
I like the other clip was from Wink's private collection.
No, that is for when we have punishments, which I haven't had many of those lately. It's been a while.
Been a while. Someone explain what pun just happened. I want to hear about it. All right, so I wanted to go into... Yeah, well, last week apparently I said I have wood here. I remember we were talking about something and I felt like I jinxed it, so I needed to knock on wood, and I said, "Oh, great, okay, I have wood here," and then people kept messaging me all week. So find that sounder, you'll love it. All right, so anyways, main topic. I had this idea. It was brought to my attention from our Discord. From Discord, will you agree with me? All right, Rampant Rabbit put it in our topic ideas. So if you have topic ideas, drop them in the topic idea channel in Discord. We look there often if we're looking for things to talk about. But he wanted to know about meta teams and who to know to gear and when to gear them and that type of thing. So we wanted to talk about what are some teams you can work on if you don't already, like the main important ones, and then we'll move into kind of an arena focus. But we want to talk about territory battles first, then territory wars, grand arena, and maybe raids, and then arena. So the first one we're going to go into is territory battles. So I wanted to see, what is your, if you were starting from scratch, what would be the first territory battle team that you would work on?
That's a good question. Territory battle. So whenever I think about territory battle, I think about multiple rounds. I think about health recovery. I think about things like that. It would be really hard to not go for First Order. And the reason I love First Order, specifically Crew, one, he helps you get BB-8, who is a TB god. He's amazing. I don't know. The droid BB-8. And I love teams that can obviously recover. So Crew would obviously have to be super high. He's an early Cantina farm. So that would be one of my top teams to work on gearing. Just because of the honestly, for territory war and territory battle, First Order, that's an answer for both for me. What about you?
I'm just watching you try to think that through while you go. For me, one of the main things I think is bounty hunters, because of the special missions. For dark side territory battles, I think bounty hunters are great. You'll need them for the special missions, of course. The special missions will also get you the droid shards, right? That's the bounty hunters. Or who is that? No. That's that brings us into the other part. Let me get back to currency. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm like, what? No, so two teams for dark side territory battles that are really good: troopers and bounty hunters. Not only do they melt on those 4 waves, when you have them on the other ones, you will be able to do your special missions and your Imperial Probe Droid mission. So those two are pretty top notch for dark side. Another one, CLS on the other side, is another important one.
Hell yeah.
Another important team. CLS is great everywhere. Raids, Territory Wars, Grand Arena. So building a rebel team. And here's one thing that you should know as well. Hot Han is a really good character that not a lot of people use. But he can fit into... What's that?
I don't use him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most people don't gear him up as far as they need to for territory battles and then don't use him. But he's a really good one to gear. You need him in territory battles. And just the days on the basic, the heals and the revivals, he's a guy no one talks about that has a really, really good kit. And you're going to need it for territory battles. So pairing him in a team with CLS is a really good thing to do, as well as all your, whatever the best rebels you have are. that's one team that you'll probably want to work on for territory battles. And as far as light side goes, everything I do on light side is either RJT, BB-8, and R2, or my Jedi. So,
Yeah.
as far as teams go, a Bastila-led Jedi team, if you don't have Revan yet, is a good one to have.
Yes, it is.
Yoda lead Jedi team is another good one to have.
Okay.
Or if you have Revan. Well, I mean, not everyone's going to have the... People will probably have Grandmaster Yoda lead before Bastila because she's a hard node. So I'm saying until you get Bastila, Yoda is usable.
Bastila should be a pretty early farm, though. I mean, she's great because she's good in the assault battle, which long term is nice. She's great in, she can be a arena team, grand arena, territory battle, like everything. Like Bastila's obviously a beast. And there are options on Jedi leads, but I agree. Once you get Grandmaster Yoda, you're in a pretty good spot with your Jedi.
You know what? McTweet made a good point in that I didn't think about when I said what I said. Hot Han was removed from the requirements for light side territory battles to get him fixed, and he's never been put back in. So he's not a requirement. He's just a guy I like. So, he's not a guy that everyone has to farm anymore. So maybe he's not one that you should farm and gear because
doesn't sound like it.
No one really uses him. So good point on that, McTweet. But light side, I usually another good light side team that you can gear up that melts all 6 waves is the Ewoks. Now,
yeah.
So if you work on the Ewoks and you start gearing them up, like these aren't teams I'm saying go farm these if you're a new player. I'm saying if you're a older player that is looking for different teams and you need to gear them up, then you might have sitting around not geared yet. Ewoks is definitely one. People have been working on them forever because now of C3PO. But if you haven't started and you're close, the Murder Bears are great for beating combat missions, and you're working toward... Good Lord. And you're working towards C3PO. So there you go.
Yeah, they're awesome. I've been using him in this territory battle, and God, they're stupid fun. It is crazy how much fun the Ewoks are, and again, they're amazing. So, a lot of fun. Let's see. When it comes to territory war and grand arena, like I said, first order gotta be there. I kind of want to put rebels there, but I'm going to. CLS, Han, and Chewie, that is a team. It might be the best defensive Grand Arena team that there is. Here's the reason. Every battle, Han will go first. Good luck stopping it.
He's going to stun someone every battle.
Exactly. It's a freaking wrecking ball. It is arguably, in my opinion, it's definitely the best defensive team. Revan's obviously amazing, but the Rebels, if you don't have something to deal with them, they will tear you apart. And I think they're, specifically if Han and Chewie are there, you don't even need CLS. If you have Han and Chewie, you're golden.
Put them under a wedge lead and watch what happens with the healing.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Chewbacca will always be healed.
Yeah, or
because he's fighting all the time.
So what happens? I've never thought about this. Admiral Akbar lead with Han and Chewie. Admiral Akbar does tactical genius. He is then going to call in someone to assist. Not only that, but Chewie will come in to assist. So Chewie could attack twice. Chewie and Han could attack. Like, you would just have a big, massive loop of death and destruction coming at you.
That
Like,
is very true.
That sounds like fun. I'm gonna have to test that next GA.
Let us know how it goes. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I think another territory battles team that's really territory, and it moves into the raids thing too, and territory wars team. We're talking about territory wars and Grand Arena right now. This one fits for raids, it fits for territory battles, it fits for territory wars and Grand Arena, and that is the Night Sisters, man. Because they can be used on offense, they can be used on defense, they can roll through 4 waves in Darkside territory battles, and in raids. In the Heroic Sith raid in Phase 4, they shred face. I mean, that is one team that if you don't have geared and you have them, you should probably gear them. Because, like I said, the team that I fought in Grand Arena today had a gear 10 zombie. It was a mix of gear 10s and 11s, but it was easy to beat because they weren't all maxed out. Whereas beat by a nest, right, basically. So, when you got a fully maxed out Gear 12 Night Sister team, it's going to do work pretty much everywhere. And it's definitely one that I would gear.
Yeah, they're unbelievably good, no doubt about it. Doesn't really matter what leader ability you go with either. You could go with either one. The other team I like, Bounty Hunters, I love using on offense. I know other people don't, but I don't. I just simply don't give a damn. They are amazing on offense. The health and protection recovery is so good. They're almost a guaranteed win. Love them.
I should really just... someone asked in chat, Asajj or Talzin lead. I always use Asajj only because I have that Zeta lead for Heroic Sith raid, but I don't have Talzin's. I really should just give her Talzin that Zeta because I have 6 of them sitting around waiting to be used right now, and I always think, man, I wish I had that Zeta. I should just get it to use it in these things. I think I've talked myself into a Zeta tonight, because all mine are Gear 12, so it's not like it's going on a bad character.
I've got it, I use it, and it is unbelievable. I mean, when someone dies, they get resurrected, come back, and create death. It's awesome. I am all down for that.
I have it on my alt, and I know how good it is. I just never have put it on my main, so I think I'm going to do that after the podcast.
Yeah, you should get on that.
I think I will. So.
Somebody asked about non-faction teams. I feel like I beat this. I
Rex,
beat this
Wampa, Hermit Yoda, and pretty much anyone else you want to throw there.
Or instead of Hermit Yoda, you could use your Saint Zahn, and just unbelievable. I mean, Wampa and anything that makes him better is just fantastic for 3v3. Even 5v5 against Rebels, just because he crushes it. Hard to go wrong. It really is.
Oh, I agree.
Wampa is so versatile. A lot of times I can just use him only and win, but he certainly gives you some options whenever you have him.
Yeah, he's great. I'm going to go on the record right now and say that I like Wampa. So, there it is.
I find this surprising, but okay. You do you.
I know. So, there
yeah, indeed. Let's see. What's next?
Any more Territory War Grand Arena teams you want to touch on right this second?
Not really.
Yeah, we could go on for days about this, but we're doing top teams, so basically it's what comes to the mind immediately when you think about those things. And so, for everyone thinking I said we got a bingo in chat, I'm not saying we have a bingo yet. We don't have one. I don't have one. Wait, maybe I do. Ooh. All right. Well,
you have a bingo?
I might have a bingo here. Let me take a look here.
I don't.
Chickenbottom, why don't you, in the DM you sent me, let me know what those 5 were.
Oh. So I'm questionable on having one. Have I had internet trouble?
Off and on the whole night?
I was gonna say it's probably a safe assumption that I can check that box, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we'll keep going with what we're talking about, but Chickenbottom, if you can DM me what those 5 were, I will double check them, and then we'll let you know if you did win. So if you're still playing, keep playing until I tell you for sure whether we have a winner or not. But yeah, there you go.
All right.
He
cool.
says, call out a comment from chat. That was done. Beer bottle can is shown, or beer bottle or a can is shown. You've done that. Punk Vapes, Stormtrooper Han Zeta mention, and Wampa mention. That sounds like a bingo to me.
I think that's a bingo. That is very valid.
Yep. Yep. We have a winner. We have a winner, folks.
I don't have any cool sound drop to play. Damn. Oh.
Wait, why is that there?
I have no idea.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's pretty good. All right, so last thing I wanted to mention, or there's 2 more things. Let's talk raid teams. I talked about the Night Sisters. That's one. RJT and Friends Resistance. That's another one. Another huge one. As well as Revan and the Jedi. If we're talking just straight up Heroic Sith, those are the 3 that came to my mind first. Now, non-faction, let's talk about that. The Chex Mix or Greedo Mix or any of those Phase 3 teams. What's
those are crazy good.
What's the bounty hunter with good Phase 3 topple stuff? What is her name? Aura Singh.
Zam?
Aura Singh team.
Oh, yeah.
That was Aura Singh. So, I will say this from experience with the Sith raid from a guild trying to do it for the first time more recently with Future of the Order. Phase 3, don't overlook it, because if you don't have a large amount of Chex teams or Greedo teams or Singh teams or Rolo teams, you're going to have a hard time in that phase. So that is definitely one that I would say, if you have the people for, gear it, because more than likely the rest of your guild is working on those other teams, and you really want to make sure that you have anything and everything to take down Phase 3, because I think that overall that becomes the sticking point for a lot of guilds. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with 3PO, if you have 3PO, you can get through Phase 3. I'm curious to see how many teams regress dramatically. And I kind of wonder if they were waiting for this 3PO event to come back before they changed Finn. That way the people that were beating Phase 3 with that team aren't completely screwed going back to not being able to beat it at all. Gives them a chance for more people to get 3PO. And then even after the nerf, they said that Finn should be able to do 20%. You get a few people do that, and you're golden. So I kind of wonder if that might be part of the reason for the delay on the Finn rework.
Yeah, I'll definitely admit that is my worry with Photo, because we do clear out the Phase 3, and the last time we did it, we got 7. The first time we did the raid and got stuck in Phase 3, we were 70% into it, so there was only 30% left. So we should be fine to get through Phase 3 even after the nerf, but it would be nice to have more 3POs to make that happen. So definitely something that could have happened there. So
agreed.
Yep. Arena. Now to a Chickenbottom is on my mind after winning bingo. Rampant Rabbit's question.
Oh.
To Rampant Rabbit's question, who do you think will be the new meta team? Should I be gearing certain characters now ready for the new meta, or should I be saving gear and Zetas until we 100% know who to work on? I think it's all preference. I think it's all preference. It wouldn't be so bad right now to work on HK47, I don't think. Anyone that was in the picture besides Gamguard of the Gamguard 3 Zetas is an option to gear if you want to proactively work towards something, because obviously those were the teams that they were trying in Arena with whatever 3 Zeta Gamguard is. Those are options for the next meta that you might want to think about. But for me, I don't even know, man. Right now I see Sith because of Sith Marauder being the login character, and I think of any Sith characters that I don't have geared that might be good after this are good options for new meta.
So it could depend on what other characters you have geared. If you were here in the Treya meta and you've got Treya, you've got Scion, you've got Nihilus, you've got them geared and you're good to go, you're probably fine to just dump into whatever you want to do and not worry about saving quite as much. You still probably want 3 Zetas, you probably want some gear, and you'll be good to go. But if you don't have those other Sith characters, I would probably hoard like hell, because every Zeta matters. And if something comes, if Darth Revan comes, and, you know, if he drops next week and we're talking about his kit next week on the podcast, or the week after, or the week after that, or at any point in the next month, or ever, obviously, I mean, that's what we do is we talk about the kits. But when that kit comes, we're obviously going to be doing recommendations on what characters you should be focusing on and how you should be spending those Zetas to help you guys most efficiently do that. So if that's what you want to be prepared for, make sure you're ready if you don't already have those characters ready. Because I think we kind of know what Sith are really good. I would be really surprised if there was a kit that really just made some off-the-wall Sith that nobody uses unbelievably good. It's possible, unlikely.
Here's the only reason that I would gear certain Sith. There are enough good leaders out there that having multiple teams is good. Now, I don't think Sith Marauder or Sith Assassin are ever probably going to be meta again, but if you were worried about that, if you did gear them, it's not wasted. Now, like, because for me, I have Darth Maul's Zeta, but half the time I don't even use him because I have, like, 3 good Sith, and then, like, I'd have to throw 2 bad ones in there to try to fight against someone's all gear 12 or all gear 11 team. So I would be fine with having more Sith geared up just because you can start filling out more teams. But that's as far as meta goes, I don't see that happening. But if you're one of those people that want to be prepared for everything, then I guess that's your choice. But it does help for Grand Arena and Territory Wars having extra Sith to throw under a Maul or under a pretty much any of those leaders that you don't throw into your main Sith team. Like Dooku leads with other Sith can obviously be really freaking annoying.
Or Maul.
Just
so I have Zetas I want to spend. I want to spend one on Grievous. I want to spend one on B2. But this Revan thing's coming. I ain't gonna miss it. But I also need to be sure that I didn't waste the one that I have on Maul. I desperately want to gear Savage because have you faced a Maul lead with Savage in Grand Arena 3v3?
Say what now?
Eh?
Have I used Savage? I use
you
on my
faced
alt
him?
account. Have I faced him? No, but I use my Zeta Maul, Zeta Savage, and a Sith Trooper team on my 3v3 on my alt account. And that thing...
You have a Zeta Savage. Do you put it on offense or defense?
Defense. Zeta Maul, Zeta Savage, Sith Trooper.
You're one of the assholes that I don't like. I hate that
works
team.
Well.
I hate that team because I'm terrible at trying to attack it. I always have to go way overpowered to beat the damn thing. I just...
That's why I'm saying, you know, if you want to gear some of these other Sith that aren't currently meta, they still have places to be used, so it's not a bad gear, and you'd be prepared if for some reason a Zeta Savage would go into a new Sith team. Because obviously Zeta Savage doesn't really work in Traya because Treya's getting rid of the debuffs herself. You really don't need Savage doing it, so he's kind of wasted on the team in that case. But Zeta Savage under a different leader could suddenly be more viable again. You know what I mean? So we don't know what's coming, but he could be in there if we had Sith coming that were meta again. So I mean, there's options there. If you're looking ahead and thinking it is Sith for sure right now, not knowing, that's how you mod looking forward. But for me, I don't know, man. I'm not gearing anything really. I'm just farming shards for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm gearing. Here's what I'm gearing right now. All the characters I'm farming so that there are at least gear 9 if there is a journey event. That's what I'm gearing, and it's slow as hell because I usually don't use a lot of energy on that. So I don't know.
I hear you.
I don't know. I don't like to predict metas because I'm terrible at it. So I like to wait until I have a little more solid knowledge. Like HK47, gonna be reworked. There's a pretty good chance that he's one you're going to want to have geared. So there's an option.
Decent chance for sure. Well, are you ready to jump into this next topic?
So ready. Let's do it.
It's time for the sexy bearded duo to battle in their SWGOH knowledge in the most exciting trivia event in the Outer Rim. It's time for the Shattered Order Trivia. May the Force be with you.
And with you. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Trivia this week.
Trivia
deals with
time.
This new Karth team. All right. I don't think it's new. I think it's more of this Karth team that a lot of people can farm now and are gearing. I wanted this team forever. I am stoked to soon have Karth, Canderous, Mission, Zalbar, and Wampa together. The band will be together.
Sounds fun.
All right. It will be super fun. All right, so you ready to just jump into this?
Well, yeah, I'm waiting on you, senor.
All right, my bad. Let's do this. Question 1, up to 4 points. Query, which Old Republic meat bags can inflict a damage over time? I hope this one doesn't take you very long.
I don't know. I don't know these kits very well. I've got my answer, though.
All right. What do you got?
Canderous and Mission Bow?
Those are your 2 answers?
Is it only one answer? Is it just Canderous?
No. I think it's more. It's up to 4 points, so I assume there's 4. My answers are Karth, Canderous Ordo, Mission, and Zalbar. And the reason I said I hope you get this is because I totally said that right before I asked the question.
I don't listen when you speak.
Yeah. Obviously, that's why you probably are only getting 2 of the 4 points.
I didn't hear you say 2 out of 4 either.
What? I said this trivia question 1, up to 4 points.
Didn't hear it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if that's because I wasn't paying attention or because of my internet. But because it's so believable that it was my internet, I'm going to go with it was my internet.
All right. Well, I can blame the internet. Hashtag blame the internet. There's another shirt. All right. The answers are Karth, Mission Val, Zalbar, and Canderous Ordo. So, +4 for me. +2 for you. Off to the early lead. Question 2. This one's worth 1 point. Did you hear that?
Gotcha. 1 point.
All right, 1 point. Incomplete statement. The whiny soldier named Kvothe, leader, does both of the following, which requires a Zeta. A. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with damage over time effect, all Old Republic allies recover 3% health and protection. Or B. When an Old Republic ally uses their basic ability during their turn, they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage, limit once per turn. $50-50. I got my answer.
I have no idea what the answer is. But I got my answer.
And what answer do you have?
I have a answer.
I also have A somewhere on there. Because Zetas always seem to be healing. It's just, that's
a good point.
That's why I picked A. So, but I do think thinking back when we went over the kit, I'm starting to think that the assist part is actually the Zeta.
Okay.
But we'll see. I picked A. Now I'm thinking B, but we'll see. It is B. So it says, when an Old Republic ally uses their basic ability, during their turn they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage. Fun fact, even at level 1, they have an 80% chance to assist.
Lame.
If you got a Zeta on a level 1, you are not Zeta poor, that's for sure. Alright. Next question. Question 3. 1 point to whoever is closer. 2 if exact. Statement. Okay. Canderous gains potency per Old Republic and Scoundrel ally. Question. On a team of Karth, Mission, Zalbar, Juhani, Canderous, how much potency does he gain?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have you repeat that so you'll be able to check that off your bingo box. But Tesh said the answer is actually A. He wrote the wrong thing.
Oh, well. All right.
So we both get a point.
We both get a point. Now, on this one, there's a very small print. I'll read that to you. Oh, you want the whole thing, don't you?
I want the whole thing.
All right, statement. Canderous gains potency per Old Republic and Scoundrel ally. Question. On a team of Karth, Mission, Zalbar, Juhani, and Canderous, how much potency does he gain? Dominion observation. Since I know you're clueless, it's less than 150 and more than 50.
I got my answer.
I don't have mine yet, so give me a second. All right, I got my answer. All right, you ready?
Yep.
My answer is 80%.
How the hell, of all freaking things, did we pick the same damn answer?
I figured 10% for each one, and then I figured only Mission, Zalbar, and Canderous are Scoundrel. But Karth might be, so it might be 90. I'm not totally sure.
I just picked a number. What's the answer?
The answer is 80%. 10% per each Old Republic and Scoundrel. Wow.
Nice.
Impressive. 2 points for each of us.
All right.
Question number 4. Musing. My silhouette is in the background of one of his abilities, and my leader pairs with his uniques. I wonder why no one uses us together. Likely answer, a dumpy canister on wheels must be useless in battle.
Repeat it one more time.
Musing. My silhouette is in the background of one of his abilities, and my leader pairs with his uniques. I wonder why no one uses us together. Likely answer, a dumpy canister on wheels must be useless in battle.
Are we supposed to name both candidates?
It says up to 1 point. So I assume we only have to name the person.
Okay.
Or both of them, I don't know. I'm just I don't know, man. I have an idea, but the likely answer part is throwing me completely off.
I got my answer.
Alright, I got my answer as well. Actually, I'm writing two. I'm writing two answers. If it's right, I won't get the... If it's the first one I say, then I'll take the points. If it's the second one, I won't take the points. But these are my two answers.
Okay.
I've got Tebow and Chirpa. I don't know why I wrote those when we're talking about the Karth team, but that's... I'm thinking that C3PO is in the background of one of those Ewoks' pictures.
I put Canderous.
Interesting.
That's apparently not right.
Okay, well, this is gonna be fun. The answer is T3M4. You know what? That makes total sense, because I was trying to think of what canister on wheels. I'm like, R2-D2, what other ones are there? Chopper?
I missed that part.
No. Yeah. And if I'd thought of T3M4, it would have made perfect sense, because there you go.
Of the topic, yeah.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
Interesting.
Alright, trivia question number 5. Irritated observation. Master, he keeps getting to blast meat bags when enemies with damage over time are attacked. When do I get such an upgrade?
Repeat it one more time.
Irritated observation. Master, he keeps getting to blast meat bags when enemies with damage over time are attacked. When do I get such an upgrade? Alright, I got an answer.
Me too.
What do you got?
HK?
My answer is Ordo. Because I believe, wasn't that broken with his multi-attacks on his basic?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I'm guessing.
I'm so lost.
The answer is Canderous Ordo. So I got it correct.
I'm not good at these trivia.
What happened? You used to beat me all the time. Alright, next question. Trivia number 6, up to 1 point. Mutinous observation. Have you noticed, Master, that when led by Karth, she only heals herself while benefiting from everyone else healing her? I would perform much better than that taunting, lightsaber-wielding meatbag.
What? Oh.
You got need it read again, or are you writing an answer?
I got an answer.
As do I. I have Juhani.
The Juhani!
Is she Jamaican?
Maybe.
Beautiful.
Maybe. You don't know.
I don't. You are correct. All right. That is it. That was the last question.
Did we get it correct?
So, yes, Juhani was the answer. 1 point for each of us.
Wow, look at that.
That brings
8 to 5. I almost won.
Oh, you didn't add the points for the second question we got right then. Because I have 9 to 6.
I did add those points. But I'm fine with 9 to 6 too. I don't care. I may have not added some other points. I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is I beat you by 3.
So this is completely not SWGOH related and totally off topic, but we originally started doing trivia because there was some sort of question and someone thought it'd be a good idea if we had like SWGOH Jeopardy, and that was kind of how trivia started. And this week, like the saddest thing, Alex Trebek announced that he has like stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Very sad.
Yeah, I saw that, but very, very cool the way he announced it and that he's fighting it.
Totally agree.
So.
Yes. Kudos to that guy. Very sad deal, but thoughts and prayers with him.
For sure. One last thing I want to mention: we are going to try trivia next week on an app called Quizzes. Quizzes, Q-U-I-Z-I-Z-Z. I've played with it a little bit today with I played with it a little bit today with Tesh, and it looks really cool. Very similar to what we used to use with Kahoot, but hopefully workable with more people again. So next week we're going to try that and see how it works out with the amount of people we have playing, and then we'll go from there and see how it goes. So look forward to that next week. We'll look forward to seeing how well you guys do. I miss seeing the rankings of the people listening. That was always fun. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we will be back here next week on twitch.tv/shatteredorder. You can always find us here. And, of course, make sure you subscribe. youtube.com/shatteredorderpod, and discord.me/shatteredorder if you want to join the conversation. We tweet out occasion on Twitter, twitter.com/shatteredorder if you want to follow us there. Is there anything else I missed besides patreon.com/shatteredorder?
I'm loving it. Everything. If you have anything that's not mentioned by us or covered by us that you want to get to us, theshatteredorder@gmail.com is our email, and we are checking that all the time during the day. So anything you guys have to say or show us or ask, we will see it there. So
indeed.
With that said, I want to thank everybody for listening, and Wink is going to sign us off with one more victory whistle for our subscribers on YouTube and Discord. So we will catch you all later. Thanks for hanging out with us.